Obstacle 1 for the great and wonderful defender of Kenosha, Kyle Rittenhouse, the 18-year-old who was unfairly thrown in jail and persecuted by the likes of Joe Biden and his campaign, has overcome a great hurdle, okay? A civil suit that was brought about by an entire cabal of grifters out there has been thrown out because there's quite a hilarious story behind that. But you know what? This is a good thing because while criminal cases wafer thin to begin with, the civil cases normally, it's just a bunch of people just looking after their own pockets, just trying to get some money after the fact, because that's just what you do, okay? Fucking young kid decides he's going to waste a pedophile and his friends, and, it's somebody who's closely associated with them. Just, hey, you got to get paid. So you do whatever you can. So first and foremost, we're going to take what the media's line is on this one, and then we're going to give you a little bit of backstory. And then I got to refresh everybody's memory that the people that Kyle Rittenhouse, because he knocked off 2 of them and then eviscerated one guy's arm, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. First and foremost, the plaintiffs dropped the lawsuit over Facebook militia posts. Weird, huh? A federal lawsuit seeking Facebook block militia and hate groups for using the site after they used a platform to draw armed people to an anti-police brutality protest in Wisconsin is over. The attorney for the 4 plaintiffs, Joseph Flores Williams, filed a notice of dismissal in the case on Tuesday, the Kenosha News reported Friday. The notice gave no explanation for withdrawing the action, and Flores Williams declined the newspaper's request for comment. The plaintiffs filed a lawsuit in September against Facebook, the Kenosha Guard militia, its leader Kevin Mathewson, the far-right group, the Boogaloo Boys, not far-right, they're just total anarchists and they want another civil war, and Kyle Rittenhouse, a white 18-year-old from Illinois, accused of killing 2 people and wounding a third during the unrest in Kenosha. Rittenhouse has argued he acted in self-defense. We've all seen the videos, and it's just impossible for me to blurt that out by saying he argued he acted in self-defense, because it's just so absurd. According to the lawsuit, the Kenosha Guard put out a call on its Facebook page for armed people to guard property in the city. Yeah, that sounds illegal. It's not illegal. Which sits along Lake Michigan between Milwaukee and Chicago. Yes, it was a 40-minute drive from where he lived in Illinois. We've all been over this. We know all the shit. The plaintiffs argued their interaction with the militia members during the protests left them traumatized and therefore gives me dat. The group included Hannah Giddings, the girlfriend of Anthony Huber, one of the men Rittenhouse killed, but I thought he was only alleged to have killed somebody. And let's remind everybody, Anthony Huber had a disorderly conduct conviction in 2018 as a domestic abuse repeater. So that bitch who's trying to grift some money out of Kyle Rittenhouse, Facebook, and everybody associated with that may or may not have been on the business end of his soy-fueled punch. He gave a Kenosha address, and here are the charges in the motion: battery misdemeanor, repeat misdemeanor, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, second degree recklessly endangering safety felony charge dismissed, but read in the modifier: use of a dangerous weapon, domestic abuse, strangulation and suffocation, domestic abuse, false imprisonment, use of a dangerous weapon again, disorderly conduct, domestic abuse. This dude just loves hitting whoever he lives with. Okay, we already were over all of this stuff before, but it just... You really gotta know the lumps of shit that Kyle Rittenhouse wasted that day. And the other guy who was screaming all those gamer words you guys remember, Joseph Rosenbaum. There's just his rap sheet as well, going all the way back to 2003, where he got cited for disrespect. Like, okay. And he was also a pedophile. So, with that said, and we got everything taken care of from the mainstream narrative, we gotta dive into the fact that this was dismissed on weird standing, okay? A very, very strange situation. Jason Flores Williams, the attorney for the plaintiff, filed a notice of dismissal with prejudice this week. Being dismissed with prejudice means it was dismissed permanently and will not be refiled. So, the hopes of a free ride, died right there, just like a pedophile in the street of Kenosha. The notice does not give an explanation for withdrawing the suit. In concluding the case, we have agreed to no comment, Flores Williams said in an email. Earlier, I'm just going to call you Williams, okay? Enough with this hyphenated horseshit. I'm glad you and your life partner got married, but pick a last name. And the attorney he originally worked with on the suit had a public spat over the case, the attorney Jennifer Serene withdrawing. Yes, which is where it gets weird. In her motion to withdraw, Serene accuses Williams of harassing and underpaying her. What was she getting, 77 cents on the dollar? In that filing, Serene wrote that Giddings and another of the plaintiffs email her saying they wanted to end their attorney-client relationship due to broken trust. Oh, my feelings. Other possible suits in the Rittenhouse case are still pending. Earlier this month, attorneys from Huber's family and Gage Grosskreutz, oh yes, the one-armed bandit, filed notices of claim indicating they will sue the city of Kenosha and Kenosha City, alleging that law enforcement negligence contributed to the shootings. So yeah, Rittenhouse is off the hook in a civil sense. The city of Kenosha, who gives a shit? They allowed everything to fucking burn down for a couple of nights, so fuck them. So we gotta get into Jennifer Serene and Jason Williams, or Jason Flores Jenner, whatever his fucking name was, because that's a weird one. One of the lawyers for the group of Kenosha protesters has withdrawn from their case against Facebook, yes, and the rifle-toting men and all those scared white people with their guns coming to shoot all the black people. Ugh. But as she left, Jennifer Serene took some shots at her former co-counsel, whom accused of underpaying, misleading her, and representing that she talked to the news media about the case, which accuses the men of conspiring, blah, blah, blah. In the following post, Serene runs her solo 2-year-old practice in Massachusetts. So why is somebody from Massachusetts representing a case in Wisconsin? That's a fucking weird one. And then Williams is a Denver lawyer, so this case just continues to get weirder and weirder. Known as a high-profile activist cases. Oh, okay. That's why. On behalf of homeless people. Oh, this guy just loves this scourge of humanity. Death row inmates and the Colorado River. Okay. But apparently he relied on Serene to draft the Kenosha-related complaint filed in Wisconsin federal court last month. According to her motion to withdraw, she said that in a September 21st email, Flores Williams said that she'd be 80% in charge of the early litigation because he expected to be tied up in 2 murder trials. So he wanted all the fame and glory of this case, and he wanted this bitch to do all of the work for him. I understand. He assured she would get paid because, for the record, know that I am now a rich lawyer. Oh boy, we've seen this behavior before. But as soon as Serene began actively participating, she did several media interviews. When the case was filed, Flores Williams began harassing her by email, she wrote, and declined to pay her from time spent on those interviews or sign a more formal co-counsel agreement she sent him. Serene described several emails as unsettling, and in a 1,500-word version, she said Flores Williams threatened her with professional sanctions for falsely adding his signature to a pleading if she didn't immediately withdraw from the case. This guy has some serious trust issues. In her motion to withdraw, Serene suggests she made a clerical error that was easily fixed, but after she shared client contracts that she had drafted with Flores Williams, she got emails from 2 of them saying they wanted to end their client-attorney relationships. She noted that she filed ethics complaints about Flores Williams in 3 jurisdictions where he is licensed. Alright, I don't even like her anymore. She should have just should have pulled herself out of the case and, just let this dude flounder on his own. Just stop trying to get people fucking disbarred just because you can. Hindsight being 2020. Now I just hate everybody involved. Hindsight being 2020, it should have raised red flags for me. Of course, just play the victim. All these people in these fucking cases are just despicable, and I couldn't be any happier. Kyle Rittenhouse is, well, he's not on the hook for any more payments, at least to these scourge of humanity. If he ends up having to pay fucking WarAmp's veteran, then whatever, so be it. But who knows, they'll probably end up just hiring another circus. And yeah, no further date on his criminal trial, and at least he's still out free, just running around telling people everything's gonna be okay. But yeah, even though we kind of just glazed over the fact that there's a certain child enthusiast involved in this story, we got to talk about that again in the next video. And it also involves one of the most despicable group of human beings, so there's another thread that continues as well. So let's hurry up and get on to that. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.